Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and today we're talking about shirt numbers. They're important. Brazil's best player wears the number 10, the 7 is iconic at Man United and Liverpool, AC Milan retired the number 3 and 6 because of Paolo Maldini and Franco Baresi's careers, you've got Mario Balotelli who will always wear the number 45 except when he plays for Nice, Wayne Rooney's got his sponsored 32 at Derby, while David Beckham had his Michael Jordan inspired 23. But what about the ridiculous numbers? Here are the most ridiculous players to wear 1 to 11. But before 1 comes 0, and that's the number Hikam Zero Ali wore for Aberdeen back in 2000, because the first 4 letters of his name is 0, and he felt it did the name justice. I mean, if that's the case, why doesn't Cristiano Ronaldo have a picture of Ron Swanson on the back of his shirt, or Neymar could have a horse? Think about it. Anyway, let's get going. Number 1. We can't start anywhere other than Edgar Davids. The Dutchman can only be described as a character, an incredible footballer who is best known for his lethal dreadlocks and glasses. Well, he ended his career as player manager at Barnet, and in his second season there, he decided he would wear the number 1 shirt, trying to create a trend where midfielders would wear the number 1 shirt instead of goalkeepers. Let's now take a look at all the incredible midfielders who followed his lead. Knee 1. Anyway, Davids wasn't even the first midfielder to wear the number 1 shirt. OSSIE ARDILES did it back in the 80s. At the 1982 World Cup, Argentina's squad numbers were based on alphabetical order, meaning Ardiles wore the number 1 rather than the stopper, so Davids wasn't even an innovator here. Scottish forward Derek Riordan also wore the number 1 shirt when he returned to Hibs, but this came with a twist. Before he joined Celtic, he was the Hibs number 10, but by the time he returned, his number had gone to Colin Nish. So instead of just picking another number like any normal person would do, Riordan wore 01 on his back. Grow up, Derek. Number 2. The first player I think of when I think of the number 2 is Clint Dempsey. I mean, what was all that about? The American forward got his big move to Spurs, and he ruined it straight away by wearing the number 2 on his back. He's not the only Premier League striker to wear the number 2 though. Aruna Conan did it for Wigan, and we also had WILFRIED BONY as Swansea's number 2, because it was the second coming of BONY in Swansea. So not only was his second spell in Wales absolutely rubbish, he did it with a ridiculous number on his back as well. But more ridiculous than these strikers wearing number 2 is Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper Joe WILDSMITH. Kieran Westwood was the number 1, and just to confirm that WILDSMITH was 100% not first choice, he had the indignity of having to wear the number 2 shirt. What a slap in the face. Sheffield Wednesday were a bit of a shambles at this point really. Midfielder Dave Jones was number 3, striker Stephen Fletcher was 6, and winger Adam Reach was 9. Number 3. The first obscure player that comes to mind for the number 3 shirt is ex-Sunderland striker ASAMOAH, or Baby Jet as he likes to be known, because he's a rapper as well as a striker. When he joined Sunderland he first had to settle for the 33, then the following year he finally got his favourite number. I mean, it wasn't just random, there was a bit of method to his madness. It was given to him by his brother, and GYAN has said in various interviews about the power of the number 3. Weirdly, Ashley Cole never said the same thing, but I imagine he had the same thinking. There's no way we could do an obscure shirt numbers video and not mention NICKLAS BENDTNER, the man who done 52 during his Arsenal days. Fair play to him, he refunded the fans who'd already got a shirt with his old number on, all 7 of them. But when he was at Wolfsburg he chose the number 3, influenced by his mother. Then again, it can't have been that strong an influence considering he never wore it again. Number 4. To wear the number 4 you've either got to be a centre back or a centre midfielder. It doesn't really work anywhere else, so that doesn't explain why Kanu used to wear the number 4 when he was representing Nigeria. Worst of all, he started a trend as ROBSON-KANU did the same thing when he joined West Brom, inspired by the former Baggy striker. Number 5. I thought when Gini Wijnaldum joined Newcastle and got the number 5 shirt it was weird, but that doesn't compare to some other number 5s in years gone by. The first one that springs to mind is Milan BAROS. I mean, Liverpool won the Champions League in 2005 and they did it with a striker who wore number 5. They shouldn't have won it just for that. And weirdly, he didn't wear the number 5 anywhere else during his career, it makes no sense. He's not the only striker who's been a number 5 though. Diego Forlán wore it when he joined Villarreal and it worked for him. But the same can't be said for Samuel Eto'o, as he certainly won't go down as Everton's best number 5 ever. Then again, neither will Michael Keane, and he's a man who suits the number. Number 6. Julio Baptista went rogue when he joined Malaga from Roma, taking the number 6 shirt, not something you'd associate with a big powerful forward like him. Christ, I'll never forget how much I used to love him. He was so disappointing at Arsenal. He obviously didn't love the number 6, as he changed it as soon as he could. ADEBAYOR is another forward who donned number 6 in Spain, but he was doing it for Real Madrid. To be fair, he was lucky to even be there. If I was him, I'd have worn any number if it meant playing for Real Madrid at that time. Number 7. The first weird number 7 that comes to mind is Antonio Valencia, although that wasn't really weird I guess, it was more the fact he was absolute crap with that number and gave up on it as soon as he could. But at least he was a winger at that time. One man who shouldn't have worn the number 7 is Paul Stalteri, a lad who was mainly a fullback for Spurs. This was a pretty grim time for Spurs. Young Spurs fans don't know how lucky they are right now to have Jose Mourinho in charge. Number 8. Glen Johnson, man, what was this all about? It annoyed me then and it still annoys me now. I don't even like Stoke, well I don't care really, but they deserve to go down when they did because of this. The man's a right back, a limited one at that. Know your role, don't take one of the best numbers. Poor Bojan had to wear number 27, no wonder his career went to pot. Number 9. This one's all about Chelsea. They will never be forgiven for committing two of the worst number crimes in the history of the game. First it was Khalid Boulahrouz, the big Dutch defender who took the number 9 in 2006 following the departure of Hernan Crespo. Then the year after it went to Steve Sidwell, a free agent signing from Reading who was there just to make the numbers up. I don't know which one was worse. Then again, if I had a Ben and he came home wanting a Chelsea shirt with Sidwell 9 on it, I'd know right there I'd failed as a father. Number 9.58. Usain Bolt wore this in a charity match once, just to remind everyone how quickly he ran the 100 metres. Well get it Usain, you're really quick, get over yourself. At the end of the day, you're not as fast as Brittany. Number 10. It can only be William Gallas, can't it? This move was controversial enough with the whole Ashley Cole saga, then Gallas made it all the more ridiculous by wearing the number 10 shirt. He was the first player to wear it since Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal, just think about that. One of the greatest players in Arsenal history, and the next number 10 was a bloody defender. He wanted the number 13 shirt but Haleb had that, so why would his second option be 10? Who did he think he was? Imagine him and Boulahrouz at the back together, 9 and 10 alongside each other, thinking they were Shearer and Sheringham. And finally number 11. There's only one option here, and I kinda feel bad for it, but it's Rui Patricio. His reasoning for not being a number 1 was lovely, leaving it vacant in honour of Carl Akime, who could no longer play because of leukemia. That's a wonderful sentiment, really thoughtful, but why would you piss it all away by instead choosing number 11? You're a goalkeeper for goodness sake, have some self-respect. Imagine you're Adama Traore and thinking, I'd quite like a better number this season, maybe it's 11, that's typical for a winger, but not being able to because of your sodden goalkeeper, it's criminal. There we go lads, that's the end of the video. Let us know of any more ridiculous numbers in the comments down below. As always, like, share and subscribe and all that good stuff, and until next time I'll see you around.